Hello everyone, another FFT Arena matchup coming at you here. This time we got silentkaster's newest team on top, known as Dihydrogen Monoxide. And on bottom we have White Knight Wiegraf's team, which is translated from the Japanese kanji, Revolutionary Squad. So, I think it's either kanji or something else. I know there's another term for it, like the different types of language in Japanese. If someone out there can point that out to me, that'd be great. Anyways, for silentkaster, we got two parts: the chemist, hydrogen the scholar, one part the squire, oxygen the wizard. So, what we're looking at here is a water absorb team. Pretty nice. I like that. We have a 12-speed chemist, very fast. Has only blackmail and preach for talk skill. I guess obviously the Faith Procs wants to have the team do more damage with the water spells. Not a bad idea. 12 speed thanks to equip shield, Zephyr shield, H-bag, thief hat. Brigandine obviously for better HP to make up for the HP loss. And Jade Armlet obviously to absorb water. Can also absorb ice too, so that's a neat thing to have. Finger guard to be lowering the odds of talk skill hitting on this unit, so that should be interesting. Yeah, again, very fast, so she's gonna do her job well, and that is sandbag everything and everyone back into the match. Magic attack up scholar here with prismatic rod. Maelstrom is all she's got for lore. Also carried, I want to say, Dia. Yeah, I think it's the prismatic rod. Yeah, Dia, Cure, Raise, Asuna. Rubber Costume to obviously absorb water. Defense Rain to be immune to Silence, Sleep, and I believe Berserk. I mean, both Defense Rain and Rubber Costume absorbs lightning, but she can also absorb wind. So, I guess that's all good. I mean, for the most part, it fulfills what it needs to do, and does keep the Scholar rather protected. Faith Up is nice because when she gets healed from the wizard's water damage spells, her faith's going to go up and her lore's going to do even more damage. So that's going to be fun to use. Grand Cross and Squire, pretty typical. Zephyr Shield to add more speed to him. Twist Headband for more PA. Angel Rain for the immune the blind and re-raise. You already know all the things Grand Cross and Squires can do. Counter Tackle, which is pretty good. It gets rid of haste. Move MP up to obviously keeps Grand Crosses going. So yeah, pretty much infinite Grand Crosses from the Squire because Grand Cross only costs 8 MP to use. So yeah, the Squire can just spam Grand Cross all day. Enough said. Pilgrimage with this wizard this time and absorb MP, which is nice. Short Charge, obviously to get the spells off. She has haste 2, I believe, Comet and Stop. And all the water spells. Comet is there in case anyone happened to absorb water, which is not a bad idea. Good amount of HP, I guess. Wizard Robe to kind of make up for the lack of MA. Pilgrimage will definitely accumulate more magic damage output from this wizard, though, definitely. So, it's a pretty interesting water absorb team overall. We'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. Everyone's got a nice amount of HP, which is good. And that definitely has an advantage over White Knight Wiegraf's team, which I'll go over right now. His team has Behemoth the Samurai, Titania the Dancer, Curiosity the Mime, and Astro the Geomancer. I went over this team a couple times before, so I'll just simply get right to it. This is a very tanky Samurai with Unyielding. Finger Guard to be anti-mediator, so he might be able to distract the chemist long enough for the rest of the units to do something. But again, though, Finger Guard isn't guaranteed, but it does lower the odds. Asura Knife, obviously to boost damage done by Asura. Also has Kiku for range damage. Again, I don't think Samurai should be tanky. I mean, yeah, this particular setup does make him tanky, but I don't think that's what they're suited for. Samurais are better suited for damage output, rather from the melee katana, the draw out. They're mostly just damage dealers, I think. This is definitely an untraditional samurai. I guess the best he's really is there for is like a punching bag, I guess. He's unyielding. I believe also has Murasame to heal up. I think that's pretty much it for this particular unit. The Dancer I actually do like. Does Wind Slash Bow boost wind? Okay, the element's wind, but doesn't get boosted by wind. Rats. It would have been awesome if the Wind Slash Bow boosted wind. That way you won't have to be stuck with using the 108 gems option. She only has Witch Hunt for Dance to deplete MP, which is good. And Kajasogi, which has more damage from the Wind Slash Bow, which is pretty nice. Wind Slash Bow can also proc Hurricane, so watch out for that. This is a White Magic Mime with Cure 2, Cure 4, like Raise 2, Regen, Wall, and Asuna. Jeez. Has move HP up, though. I guess that's understandable if you want to keep the Mime in the action. He could have had move MP up, actually, instead. If only, if anything, because, well... I mean, the Geomancer may have Carbuncle, but how often is she really going to use it? But in any event, the Mime with Awareness, Main Gosh, and Power Wrist. So this guy's going to be really annoying to hit physically. Chakra Band for as stats protection, and Chameleon Robe for more MP, as well as Immune the Dead, and Absorbs Holy, which is pretty nice. The Mime's MA, though, is pretty lackluster for him to be spawned with all the white magics. I don't see him healing for more than 100, personally. I think the female Mime would have been a little bit of a better choice. It's your call, though. I would have probably did like a martial arts mime, but then again, martial arts mime aren't that good either. I guess it just became one of those things where you would have had it done like Punch on martial arts just to kind of make them worth a little bit. And the Geomancer with half MP with Summon has Moogle, has Fairy, Carbuncle, and Odin. Odin can be good for random death procs. And also has all the elementals. Caution, Float absorb negates earth damage, which is nice. Caution lets the Geomancer have an absurd amount of evasion thanks to the Giant Axe, at least until the next turn, because Caution enables defending. Again, though, I think this team is mostly hoping for the Geomancer to land the death procs, and the Dancer to dish out the dish out the damage, bleh. While the Samurai just tanks and the Mime just be annoying when he's not casting magic, at least as far as trying to be hit physically. I'm guessing this what White Knight Wiegraf's goal is, to have the Dancer and the Geomancer to do the most damage. With that said, though, we're going to be heading off to map 56, which is Orbone Monastery. This is definitely going to be very interesting to see how this is going to be played out. Like I mentioned before, the Chemist is extremely fast. And Witch Hunt could help White Knight Wiegraf in the early going, but with Move MP up and Absorb MP, that's going to somewhat counter the Witch Hunt strategy. There's Faith up after a haste 2, so Faith up can also be triggered after a dance. Interesting. And here's the Maelstrom, or Maelstrom as it's called. Odin does not get a death proc in there, but it was a good attempt. Accumulate from the Squire. So I don't know. Is White Knight going to be able to negate Silentkaster's damage output? We'll have to wait and see. There's a blackmail onto the Dancer who has to back off for a bit. Samurai will rush forward. Asura for a measly 84 damage. Not that impressive at all. You need higher PA if you want Asura to be worth a damn. And the Geomancer almost got KO thanks to water. And the Chemist will do another onto the skull, which is good. There's Moogle. Even Magic Attack Up will be better than half of MP. This Bull Rush that time, that hurts. Samurai does indeed go down. Don't Act is still there. Mine's gonna go for the raise 2. I don't like the odds personally. 68%. Dancer still don't acted. And Water 2 doesn't quite kill. Raise 2 does connect. But the Mime is... oh, nope, not dead. Thanks to all that evasion. There's Absorb MP. Here's Moogle once again. Oh, okay, Don't Act does finally wear off, but... okay, now Don't Act misses the Geomancer that time. The silentkaster hasn't really been able to put White Knight away so far. And Absorb MP is countering Witch Hunt very well. Is it Arrow Shot? Oh, that would have been hilarious if the Mimic Backfire triggered Hurricane. That would have been amazing. And Samurai actually blocked the melee shot from the Squire. And let's see, Murasame. Geomancer is still alive. She's got to hang back and go for one more Moogle. Another thing that's also going to be a weakness on, unless the Geomancer stays, yeah, a weakness on White Knight Wiegraf's team. Unless the Geomancer does go for Carbuncle. Ooh, there's a Don't Act proc. Very, very well timed, actually. And Unyoden is keeping that Samurai alive. But even so, Wall ain't gonna do much. Oh, wait. It actually did do something. The Samurai just survived. So I guess for every team, there is a method to the madness. There's a remedy, there's a, not a remedy, a bandage to get rid of the, Don't Act. See, Oxygen's gonna have to rush back, and it's gonna go for more, water spells here. Down goes the Squire again, gets up from re-raise, and Grand Cross. Down goes the Geomancer, and gets a Water 2 heal to boot. Auto push onto the Dancer. And see, the Mime's looking for more. Raise 2. And it does miss. Yeah, this is why I think female Mimes might be better. Higher MA, higher odds. And I would have raised up the Faith even a little bit. Have better compat. I don't know. Grand Cross does miss. Yeah, see, the Mime's gonna go for one more raise too. 84% though. And Blackmail hits the Dancer. That's going to slow down White Knight Wiegraf for sure. Raise 2 does connect. And swing and a miss again. Again, main gauge power wrist prevailing here for White Knight. Oxygen is going to rush back. Really gonna try to KO the Geomancer. Murasame. And double Murasame. Moogle. So White Knight Wiegraf is tanking the hits. But he can't last forever. The Dancer being Don't Acted is going to really hamper White Knight's chances here. One more raise 2 from the Mime. Oh, that would have been... if there was a Water Ball proc, I would have called that game. And raise 2 missed. Yeah, the Mime not having high enough faith and or not having better compat is starting to backfire. And the blind proc is going to really drive the issue home. Oh, faith proc. That means more damage from Water 2. 200 to be exact. Raise 2 connects one more time. Double block, and there's a caution. But Don't Act is going to negate that. So now the Samurai is a sitting duck. Asura. Double Asura, but not enough. That Squire's gonna get healed no problem. Faith up. And Preach. Now the Squire is definitely gonna get the extra healage. Look at that, 162. Now that's synergy. Wish does hit, but the Mime can't last this much longer. Silentkaster is going to take round 1. It's just going to be simply a matter of time. Low 9 damage. So Samurai is pretty much all that is left. I don't see this guy really lasting much longer right now. He is protected in shell, which is great. Oh, 100% stop proc. The Samurai would be smart to stay put. Stop the... Oh, Jade Armlet stops the... prevents stop. Very nice. Very nicely done. So the redirect didn't really mean anything at this point. Well, it means less than it would have, you know, at this particular point of the fight. But still. Silentkaster takes round 1. We're going to round 2. Round 2 is taking place in map 75, Bervinia Volcano. This map is a little bit smaller than the Orbo Monastery map. And there's accumulate from the Squire off the bat. And here comes Asura. Asura! And Maelstrom coming up. Geomancer, with at least with float, she can just hop on over and start doing the summon magic attacks. However, the wizard's going to be right there to greet her. See, no absorb MP. There's water. And auto potion right there. As well as absorb MP. Here comes Odin. See, there was no death proc. And more of the witch hunts. Trying to keep Silentkaster's MP down, but... And there's a crit Kajasogi, I believe. Squire backs off and does nothing. Not sure why he didn't go for Grand Cross. Here's a Cure 4 from the Mime. And the Samurai actually does down the Wizard. Geomancer is going to be looking for Moogle. I honestly think that Magic Attack Up might be better for this Geomancer as opposed to half of MP. And I would definitely give her a move MP up too. So that way she can still do the summon magic damage no problem. While still having a healthy amount left. The Mime is still casting the Cure 4. Now changes his mind and goes for a Cure 2 for Peasley. Peasley 45. I mean, the Mime is interesting, but it's kind of dull at the same time because the MA is really bad. And I think that... Oh, his Titan. I honestly think that that Mime could have been a little bit better. So, the Chemist is still stuck sandbagging. White Knight is kind of in this thing. There's a wall on the Geomancer. That should help her out. Here's Asura. With Unyielding, though, you got one thing you got to realize, White Knight is, it also decreases the amount of damage your Samurai can do. So Asura is not being as powerful. despite the Asura Knife boost in fire. That's why I think attack up is best here. You see, as soon as I get rid of the blind proc, which is good, at least the samurai can go back to attacking people. And I guess with float, it is allowing White Knight to maneuver around the map fairly well. Silentkaster actually having a tougher time this time around to keep up with White Knight's terrain mobility, I guess you could say, because of fly, float. And the Geomancer does do good damage with her summon magic. I mean, summon magic Geomancer do work. It just could be a little bit better, I think. What's also apparent too is Mimic Asura, awesome. What's also apparent too is Silentcaster's pilgrimage and high faith is actually working against him at this point right now. Kajasogi for 260. Oh, Mimic Kajasogi. They wanted to see that for some time. And there's an Odin Death proc that actually connected. So White Knight's going to be able to take round 2 here. Wow, good comeback. We're going to round 3. Round 3 is taking place at map 83, Zayakawa Falls. Round 2, the amount of AoE the Geomancer was able to do with her summon magic has been proven to be rather effective. But of course, White Knight was also capitalizing on... Oh, Mimic Kajasogi again! Jeez! Mimes are so fun to use. And the canvas is in critical already. But I was just going to say earlier that, the Geomancer does good enough damage. And his local quake being anti-sandbag... Well, not anti-sandbag, but like... Well, that and, finishing off weakened opponents, which is really good. I was just gonna say, White Knight was capitalizing on, Silentcaster's high faith. Which is why Titan was doing almost 200 damage, at one point. The Samurai, at least can hit physically, like so. It's just that with Unyielding, though, it kind of holds back the Samurai's true power, I feel. He could have done a little bit more. Titan does get all 3 of them, and this is definitely an excellent start for White Knight Wiegraf here. Despite the mine being KO'd already, as long as the Samurai can just keep up the pressure... then I think all will be well. Here comes another... Oh, doesn't go for another Asura. Interesting. Oh, the AI thinks the wizard was going to die to the poison anyway, so he figured just to flat out ignore her. That might be a mistake, though. Now Silentcaster is gonna assume command. Blackmail misses. Yeah, I'm not sure if... Okay, so now goes the wizard. And Skull's going to look for a raise. Geomancer is still going to be looking for summon magic here. Is she going to get hit all 3 of them? Yes, she will, actually. And KO's the wizard one more time. Squire goes for one more Grand Cross. And yeah, with just this much healing power from Silentcaster, his team just, quite frankly, can't, White Knight's team just simply can't win. I mean, half of MP is allowing the Geomancer to cast even more magic, but if the damage output's not going to be enough to KO, then Silentcaster can just simply shrug it all off, just like the way he was able to in this particular round. So, just like I did for Shadow Dragon, White Knight, I'll also offer you a video pro tips on how to tweak your team while not being terribly different, but would be better versions of what you got going on. So GG, and here it comes. Okay, White Knight, as I mentioned before, I was going to offer you how I would personally tweak your squad here. The thing about your samurai up here is it is defensive, but like I said before, defensive techniques isn't really a samurai's strong suit. That's more like a paladin or a chemist, even if you want to go that far. And while it can do damage when it's defensive physically, it just doesn't do enough damage, which is why I would keep something similar to it, but instead just swap out Ununit of Overwhelm and change from basic skill to steel. Because samurais do have naturally good MA, and you kind of want to further your chances with that. This is why I'll just give it Meatbone Slash just for the random surprise. Because someone can try to attack the samurai, he'll have enough HP to survive, and then bam, Meatbone Slash will probably kill them. I know you like, and I kind of figured, unless I'm wrong here, you'd rather keep mobility over anything else. So I just only did Overwhelm because if anything else, you want the samurai to land in the KOs as often as possible. I would also add in Beezenboat, because in case you go up against a mage and your attack's not going to be able to KO them, you could be able to deplete their MP almost completely if you use Beezenboat. Overwhelm does boost damage, the effectiveness of draw out, making Murasame actually worth a damn. At least in my opinion, that's what makes Murasame actually stand out a little bit better. So instead of doing 90, you can actually do like 20% of 90, and I think 20% of that is 1/5 of that. That is 18. So you would do like 108 Murasame healing, which actually is better than getting like the 72 healing. Personally, you would do better damage with Asura, around 100, and you can do better damage with Kiku personally. And for Steel, just quickening Steelheart. Reason being is that you want your samurai to at least be rather fast, so while you can catch up, because the only MPs you're really gonna be using for anyways. And Steelheart for obviously for charm procs. You obviously want to have charm to turn things around for you. What I would also do is, while I know that Wind Slash Bow and 108 Gems does do more damage, but if you want a dancer that can withstand hits better, I would definitely do Move HP Up. I mean, Fly is pretty good too, but Move HP Up complements Auto Potion pretty well. Ultimate Bow for better PA, and Thief Hat if you want to maintain the 9 speed. I will also add in case Kajasoge doesn't do it for you and someone has Projectile Guard. For Nejitsu, I would definitely throw in Hokuton, because if anything else, you can at least damage those that have Projectile Guard. Plus, it's unavailable, so that also makes it very cool to use. So, this would be more of a physical dancer, straight up, and you don't have to worry about element absorb as well. I mean, yeah, the Wind Slash Bow is neat for the Hurricane proc, but still, this is something I would rather change to personally, because again, you're just going for more you'd rather go for more damage output, particularly from this dancer. And you'll get better damage from the samurai without a doubt. That's what I would do personally. I would change the mime from a white magic user to an item bot. I mean, yeah, raise 2 is good to have, but I would change them to item bot because the faith is just too low. And that, again, the odds between 68 to like 83% isn't really the best odds you can grab. Of course, if you want to make a white magic mime, I would give him MA boosting gear so you can at least increase the odds, and just simply change the faith value from 50 to 70, and give him like move MP up as well. Again, that's if you want to go for a raised spot mime. Of course, if you're gonna go, because your mime's also using awareness and Mangosh, I think item bot mime might be better, because he can walk over to someone and then heal him with the next potion. Maybe what else? Maybe even revive the Phoenix down, cure status, whatever. He would also need the HP necessary to kind of take a few hits, maybe, and definitely be able to show some decent damage while he's at it. Maximilian is probably the better choice if you want optimal HP. For Fleck Mail is another good one, since you're not really using like white magic or anything like. Since you probably are less likely to use white magic or anything like that. If you want spells to bounce off the mime, that's fine too. Or if you really want this mime to be a little bit faster, Genji armor is another one, but the HP would be really low. So I would definitely make an item bot mime. Item bot mimes are probably better to utilize because you at least won't have to deal with RNG screwed you over personally. I know Phoenix Down is like a quick fix at best, but at the very least you're guaranteed to bring someone back up. And finally for the Geomancer, I do like the setup for this Geomancer here. I wouldn't necessarily have to use all of the Geomancy though. I mean, you would have Titan, which would do enough damage. You would have Odin, which can proc dead, and I would maintain some of the elementals, not all of them, but just some, especially the ones that you know that can benefit off the wind, earth, and water boost from the giant axe, like water ball, gusty wind, local quake, things like that. That way, the Geomancer can deal better damage with elemental and can avoid hits physically herself, and then I would do counter flood instead of caution, because counter flood you're gonna get free damage, and free damage is very good here, especially if you want to combo that with summon magic or finish off elemental. Maybe the samurais draw out, which again I would recommend overwhelm, because you can at least get better damage not only from your physical attacks, but you can heal more with Murasame and do more damage with Asura and Kiku, because you would have best of both worlds with this particular samurai. Meatbone Sledge, like I said, is just to add a little surprise factor to it, and just to be cool, because Meatbone Sledge is that good. That's all I can think of how to tweak your team, White Knight Wiegraf. What you want to do with your team is your call, but I figured I offer you a few pro tips on how to tweak your team to make it a little bit better. With that said, thanks for watching.